Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5:30.
We need them to do more. We need them to do more because 20,000 American citizens lost their lives in 2016, and many tens of thousands more were injured as a result of fentanyl manufactured in China, distributed from China to the United States.
It's a plea to Chinese officials. An overdose death of an 18-year-old in Grand Forks has led to charges in one of the most prolific international drug trafficking organizations based out of China. A pair of Chinese nationals have been indicted for manufacturing tons of fentanyl and other powerful narcotics that were then peddled into the United States. Deputy Attorney General Rod Rosenstein announced one of the two, 38-year-old Yan Zhang, was indicted in the District of North Dakota, along with 8 others accused in the conspiracy. With no extradition treaty with China, the chances are slim they will ever be brought to the U.S. to face the charges. Now, this all stems from Americans buying pure fentanyl and other dangerous drugs online directly from Chinese factories. Now, the problem is inexperienced users don't know that the drug is pure, and then they overdose. Rosenstein described how the fentanyl from China is passed off as prescription opioids.
It sometimes is pressed into pill form and falsely sold and misrepresented as a prescription opioid drug. Users often have no idea about what they're getting. They don't know about the purity. They don't have any idea what's in the pills, and that's one of the reasons why it proves to be so deadly.
Rosenstein said that illegal distribution of fentanyl from China is also a massive problem. And although he says he's working with the Chinese government, he says that they need to do more. Tonight on Valley News Live at 6, Valley News Team's Ryan Laughlin talks to a recovering addict in Grand Forks about how the drug has impacted the community locally. And we've got some pretty fantastic weather for October. Tomorrow, though, it could be another story. Maybe a little bit of a setback, but we're not there yet. Robert, how's tonight looking?
Yeah, tonight is looking pretty nice, albeit a touch on the breezy side, but we're used to having some breezy conditions here in the northern portions of the U.S. Temperature-wise, mostly in the 70s still. These temperatures more typical of late August, early September. Still 70 in Wadena, Detroit Lakes, and Baudette, 75 in Fargo, 79 in Grand Forks, where we had a high temperature of 80 degrees. Winds still on the breezy side, as mentioned, out of the west and southwest, around 10 to 20 miles per hour with some stronger gusts. They stay breezy overnight tonight and really kick up as we head through the day tomorrow. Just a few clouds out there, and with only a few clouds, no precipitation to worry about, none anticipated as we head through much of the rest of the week. Here in Fargo, once the sun sets, we'll start to cool on down into the low 60s by the 7 o'clock hour, right at 60 around the 8 o'clock hour, and by 9 into the upper 50s. As mentioned, a very windy day as we head through your Wednesday, but how's the rest of the week looking? We'll let you know coming up in just a few minutes.
Sounds good. Thanks, Robert. On Capitol Hill, a Republican and Democrat say they've found common ground and have a short-term solution to keep health insurance premiums from skyrocketing. Well, Lingy reports from the White House.
2 key senators say they've reached a breakthrough deal on a short-term health care fix.
Trying to take a small, limited, bipartisan step that will avoid chaos, begin to keep premiums lower, and make sure that all Americans have access to insurance.
Republican Lamar Alexander and Democrat Patty Murray hashed out an agreement that would keep federal payments flowing to health insurers after President Trump pulled the plug last week.
Chairman Alexander and I were able to find common ground on a number of steps to stabilize the markets and to help protect families from premium spikes as a result of the sabotage we have seen from this administration.
The agreement would restore payments to insurers to help reduce their expenses for covering low-income earners. In exchange, states are expected to get more flexibility on Obamacare mandates.
President Trump says he's been involved in this process and supports the short-term solution, but he argues Obamacare must be replaced.
It's a concept that doesn't work, and we are very close. We feel we have the votes.
For now, the senators are working on selling their short-term plan.
The important thing is not that Senator Murray and I agree, but that we find a consensus among our colleagues so that we can enact it.
The Senate failed multiple times to repeal and replace Obamacare with just Republican votes. Mola Lenghi, CBS News, the White House.
A few Republican and Democratic senators have already expressed support for this short-term deal, including Senator Al Franken of Minnesota. And President Trump's travel ban has dealt with yet another blow. A judge in Hawaii has temporarily blocked the administration's latest version of the travel ban, set to effect at midnight. The most recent ban restricts various types of travelers from Chad, Iran, Libya, North Korea, Somalia, Syria, Yemen, and Venezuela. This is the third time that Hawaii has blocked President Trump's travel restrictions from proceeding. The White House says today's court order is dangerously flawed and undercuts the president's efforts to keep the American people safe. An announcement today in Grand Forks that will change the future of the University of North Dakota Athletics Department. Valley News Live Sports Director Beth Houle joins us live now with more on today's big news. Beth?
Hey, Christine, that's right. A big change coming to the University of North Dakota as Athletic Director Brian Faison announces his retirement, effective at the end of December. Faison led the program's transition to Division I athletics, a highlight of his 10-year career in Grand Forks. His final positive impact includes admission into the more fiscally responsible Summit League and Missouri Valley football conferences. But his tenure also included the controversial decisions to change the school's nickname and dropping several sports, including women's hockey and baseball. Despite those recent controversies and the negative public reactions, UND President Mark Kennedy still points to Faison as an example of what they look for in their next athletic director.
Well, Brian's going to be a great example of who we want to have going forward. You need to have a standard bearer for the athletic department. You need to have somebody that, like Brian has done, had record-breaking contributions to the department, so it has the resources it needs to compete. But you ultimately need to attract great coaches.
Faison will stay on as a special advisor to UND Athletics through the end of June, but saying he officially retires at the end of 2017 in hopes of giving the university time to get someone in place and acclimated for that conference transition.
All right, thank you, Beth. UND President Mark Kennedy says the national search for Faison's replacement will begin immediately. Tonight is the end of an era, but also the beginning of another in West Fargo. The pool at L.E. Berger Elementary School is holding its last swim meet right now. The last meet the pool had there also comes on Senior Day, adding to the meaning of this year's event. Next year, competition will take place at the new Olympic pool at the Hulbert Aquatic Center, a location that boasts the Olympic pool and a warm water pool used for teaching and therapy. We're hearing from West Fargo officials about the history of the pool and what we can look forward to with the new center. Coming up later tonight on Valley News Live at 9 on the Fargo CW and Valley News Live 10 at 10.